Hey guys, come on in, come on in, guys. Come on in, guys. Making sure that you guys can hear me real good. Come on, guys. Come on. Yes, hit the hearts, share the live, so we can go ahead and get this started. Hey, come on, guys. Come on and share the live, hit the hearts, get your daily hearts, so we can go ahead and get everything started. Thank you for coming in. Come on and share the lives so we can get all this right here started, guys. Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. I need to go ahead and change my to unapologetic because that's what I am when it comes to my YouTube channel, Unapologetic Real Talk. So let me see if I can go ahead and pin this up. Also, I want to go ahead and pin this up as well, okay? So come on, guys, come on, and hit the hearts, so we can go ahead and get it started in here. So making sure that you guys can hear me real good. All right, come on, hit the hearts, guys, hit the hearts, hit the hearts. Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. Thank you, guys. Come on, and hit the hearts, hit the hearts. I haven't been in for 2 days, so I'm going to start where I stopped. I stopped on day 17, and today, I think the day is the 19th. Okay, I hope the day is the 19th. I think the day is the 19th, but I know I had 2 days off. Okay. So come on. We're gonna talk about hashtag 30-day reset. Hashtag 30-day reset. And like I told you all, I cannot tell you nothing that I have not been through myself, okay? Hashtag 30-day reset. So come on, guys, hit the hearts so we can go ahead and get this started, at least up until I get to 1,000. Once I get off, I hopefully I have at least 30K or more. Okay, so come on, guys. Hit the hearts so we can go ahead and get this started. Thank you. Unapologetic Real Talk. Happy, blessed Saturday. Hope you guys enjoying your day. Thank you guys for coming in and spending it with me. So come on and hit the hearts. We got a topic that we want to go ahead and talk about. This right here is what I call hashtag 30-day reset. So today's topic is going to be self-care. Self-care. That's a much needed because you can go out there and you could help everybody. But if you cannot take care of yourself, it's useless to go and help somebody else. Okay. So we need that self care. So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and talk about, self care. So come on, click, guys. Share the live so we can make sure that we get this started. Okay, I got to 1K before I get off. Hopefully, I have at least 30K. Okay. So as you can see right here, guys, this is what I call hashtag 30-day reset. I don't have it pinned up, but what we are doing, we are journaling. Okay. Even if I was not on here those 2 days, I still was journaling. I have a lot to talk about. Just because I do not come on live, that's just don't mean that everything stopped. Okay. I am very serious and very passionate about what I'm doing. This right here is hashtag 30-day reset. Okay. So what we are doing right here, we are journaling everything, the good and the bad. And when you're going through something like this, guys, like I said, it takes a lot of pushing, and that's exactly what we are doing. But look at this right here. This journal says push, and that's exactly what we are doing. So if someone asks you, what is hashtag 30-day reset? Hashtag 30-day reset is that what we are doing is we are taking one unhealthy thing and removing it out our way. And also, we are talking about financial blessings. We're not going out there. We're not chasing anything. If anything, it's going to chase us. And also breaking generational cycles, which we're going to talk about that. And you might sit there and say, oh, what does that apply to my life? As you can see, look around. It's applied to your life. Look, when it comes to our First Amendment rights, how we seeing right now, how they gradually trying to chip away, which we already know, especially when it comes to us. And we're going to talk about that because I don't sugarcoat nothing in here. If I sugarcoat, I might as well just shut it down. I might as well shut it down because I am not being my authentic self. So the things that I'm talking about is because I am passionate about. So if I come on and I talk about something that I am not passionate about, then I might as well just walk away. Which is why, I do understand when it comes to TT, TT, which I'm talking about TikTok, is more of promoting a lot of products, which is why I went ahead and I set up another platform so I could talk about, stuff that I am very passionate about. Okay. So come on, guys, hit the heart, share the live so we can go ahead and get this started. So as you can see right here, when it comes to hashtag 30-day reset, guys, this right here is a journal. Get your journal and write everything down. Write it all down because we are talking about some things, that, we've been through, knowing that we have came out. And even if, some things that we keep repeating, but if you start recycling everything, or if you start journaling everything, I'm not talking about recycling because we ain't recycling the old. We are getting rid of that old and we are putting in the new. Okay, like I said, there is power in the tongue. Okay, so what we are doing right now, guys, we are journaling. This right here is a prayer journal. I went ahead and I purchased, which you might can find it in my if you go into my shopping list, you might can find it, which I purchased this right here. I love this cover because as you can see right here, it has six melanated goddesses that look like they're doing intercessory prayers, which they have individuals, they have multiracial, they have men. So, you just don't have to get this cover right here. Also, when you open it up, the reason why I like it because you have Monday through Sunday. So you can write down each and every day, just like a diary, each and every day what you have been through, okay? What you have been through, what you have gone through. And especially, this is not just for women, it's also for men. We've been through a lot, especially women, especially when it comes to depression, waking up. And it's kind of hard. You might sit there and say, well, just get up, and just make your bed and just go outside and touch the grass. It's easy for some, but it's not easy for other people, especially when they are dealing with depression. But like I said, when it comes to words, words have power. So we are not going to attach those type of words to us, not in this month, okay? And not after this. We are not going to attach those words, okay? So when it comes to this journal, Monday through Sunday, I went ahead, I'm trying to get other people to participate. I see a lot of people also doing the same thing, which it doesn't bother me at all, but I just wish that we could come together, especially when we are a small community. In this month, we all can come together and break bread together. It's enough for each and every one of us. But the thing about it is that we so divided, we so divided. So, whatever she do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a piece of what she's doing, but I'm going to go do it on my end. It does not work like that. And that's why we stay stuck. We stay stuck because nobody wants to work together. Okay. Everybody wants to sit there and they wants to, see what you're doing, see your glory, but they don't want to go through what you're going through. They think that they can go ahead and do it better, but be your authentic self. Okay. So when it comes to journaling in the month of September, which we're going to continue, just like I said, I needed a little break because, of my eating habits. When you start taking some things away, especially what you are accustomed to, it plays a toll, especially when it comes to sugar. Okay, I took the sweets, I took sugar, which I went on another platform, Shell. Her name is Shell or Michelle. Make sure you go ahead and check her out, where she's teaching you also how to eat healthy food, and especially, people that's diabetic or went through surgery or whatever, or just want to eat healthy. But she was making some cookies, I love sweets, and she was making cookies without even adding sugar. I say, oh my God, I want to see that, even without adding flour. But when you start changing your diet, and taking that sugar out and start eating fruits, I promise you, you're gonna feel the withdrawal. It's just like an addict, like an addict. When you take certain stuff out of their life, they have that withdrawal, and that's exactly what I had. I hope you guys could see it because I saw it had clicked. I had a 2 day withdrawal where I had to take a break, okay? But I am good today. I feel good. Out here is very beautiful. So once I get finished with this right here, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna touch grass. And also when it comes to exercising, exercising is one of the key components when it comes to hashtag 30-day reset. We got to move that body, okay? We have to do that, okay? So before I continue, guys, come on, come on, come on, guys, and hit the hearts, share the live, guys. I want to talk about this tapper. I want to talk about this tapper. Come on and click, 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 guys. This tapper right here is very, very, I'm not going to tell you no lie because, I'm not going to tell you something, sell you something that I know that is true or not true. I'm going to tell you the truth. This tapper, I'm going to let you know this is the best tapper that anyone can invest on because, first of all, let me tell you right here, I only been on here for 13 minutes. 13 minutes. I only been here 13 minutes, and I don't know if you guys can see it. 13 minutes. Most of all those clicks that you see, 4,000 clicks, I did it myself, okay? And the thing about it is when it comes to this tapper right here, you don't even hear a sound. You don't hear no click, click, click. You don't hear no sound at all because it's silent. Everything is silent. And the thing about it is that it's wireless. So once you go ahead and you plug it up, I haven't plugged this up since, I'm not going to tell you no lie, since the day that I had purchased this. Maybe one or two times I went ahead and plugged it. And I plugged it just because I wanted to. But, the battery never ran out. And I don't even think that it's having a battery. It has, a USB cord. You plug it in a socket, and that's what it is. But these taps, less than 13 minutes, guys. 13 minutes. I went ahead and I have gotten almost 4K likes off of this small tapper like here. See, sometimes, hey, if they ain't doing it, you got to do it yourself, okay? Even though we need that support, especially when it comes on these type of platforms, we need that support. We need the engagements. We definitely need the engagements because if we don't have the engagement, hey, it's just, it doesn't make no sense for even coming on. We need the engagements. Now, when it comes to the gifts, I thank you guys for the gifts, but I also need, when you come on, you need the engagements because if I'm not mistaken, if I would have had all the ones, like I said, I have almost 10, close to 10,000. I'm almost close, maybe about 800 away from 10,000. Okay. I have almost 9,000 people that's following my platform. But when it comes to the support, I don't get it. Now, like I said, when it comes to the gifts, when it comes to maybe, hitting the likes and all that, yes, that's a plus. That's a plus because who don't wants to get paid? But also I need that time. I could have been, I think, a C4. I could have been a C4 this month if I would have had the engagements. I only needed at least 30K watch time. And if I would have gotten that 30K watch time, I would have been, I think, a C4, a C4. I would have been a C4. Okay. So the engagement plays a lot. Okay. The engagement plays a lot. And I also went ahead and I set up another platform so I could talk about the things that I am really passionate about, even though when I come on here, I also talk about a lot of stuff that I'm passionate about. I am passionate about when it comes to my spirituality, even though, like I said, I thought that I had it all together, but, it's a lot of stuff, even though you might feel that, hey, you know, I know all what I can know, no more learning. No, each and every day, something new. Each and every day we learn, okay? So when it comes to this tapper, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my message, but I want to talk about this tapper, okay? Make sure you go ahead and purchase this tapper right here. As you can see, it's still clicking. You can tap right here, and it goes so fast just by tapping. It has like one. Uh, where you can just tap on one page, and also you can tap while you on somebody else's page. Yes, so it has one and it also has two. So one means that it's tapping on your page, and two is that you are tapping on somebody else's page. So while I'm sitting right here, I also have another cell phone where I'm watching somebody else's platform and I am tapping. Yes, I am tapping, as you can see right here. You can see two lights that is clicking. So what I am doing right now, I am also with my other phone. I'm on another platform, talking to someone else, but I may not, be body there, but I'm present there, or the other way around because I'm still engaging. So they still get those taps, just like I'm still giving myself taps on here. So I've been on here for 13 minutes, maybe let me see, 18 minutes now. So 18 minutes, let me see how many taps that I went ahead and gave myself. Almost 4,000 taps already, almost four, maybe close to 5,000 taps I already had did. You see? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is that we also have to support, because I also needed at least 300,000, yes, 300,000 taps. I had got close to 100 or maybe 200,000 taps, but I needed like 100,000 taps more, where I was able to, get the taps that I need. But this right here, guys, this is a wireless auto click phone screen tapper with a hand-free silent. As you can see, it's silent and adjustable speed when you are broadcasting. So as you can see right here, I can make it slow. I can do it slow. Or I could dump, look, I could tap right here. So the more I tap, the faster that it goes. Okay, so guys, make sure you go ahead and check out that in your shopping cart if you are a content creator or you're a gamer and you want to get those taps out the way, because you may feel that the ones that's watching your channel, they're not, tapping, but they're still engaging. Okay. So make sure you go ahead and check that out as well. Okay. So also, with the journal, guys, also purchase this as well. You can find all that if you go ahead and click, in my little shopping cart. You'll find all that right there. Okay. So I'm not going to go ahead and promote anything that I have never purchased myself. Also, when it comes to this little outfit right here, which I'm gonna tell you the truth about this, I really like it. I went ahead and I ordered two, but the thing about it, when it comes to the sizing, if you wear extra large, go ahead and get a 1X. If you wear 1X, go ahead and get a 2X. And if you like these that's kind of baggy, which I like stuff, I don't like stuff that fits my body, clean to my body, even though this is a sports dress, you might like something to clean to your body. But I like a lot of room. So, it does clean, it cleans to your body. Okay. So, guys, with all that said, we're going to go ahead and get into what I came on for. Okay, I see right now I am at 6.8. So, as you can see right here, today, thank you for hitting your daily hearts, my girl. Yes, Miss Black 432. Make sure you go ahead and check out my girl, Miss Black 432. She's going to be on at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central. Okay, so we're gonna go get us some rest, and we're gonna be on our girl platform, Miss Black 432. Also, thank you for the populars. The populars means a lot, guys, because what the popular do, it pushes you out to the FYF. I thought it was FYP, but they went ahead and changed it. They got a lot of rules, which we also have to read those guidelines. Okay. She says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. But I was talking about this Tapper right here because this is the one that I have. It looks like a little keychain. And also, you can hang it up. You can hang it up, see right there, and you don't have to worry about it. It's attached to your phone and it's silent. You don't hear not one thing. Just listen. Tell me if you hear anything. Let me know if you hear anything. You can see right there. Look how fast it's going. It is going real, real fast, and it is tapping. Tapping almost 4K less than 18 minutes. Okay, 4K less than 18 minutes. That's really, really fast. Okay, she said, add to my cart. Okay, she said, yes, this right here. This right here. And like I said, guys, we definitely need stuff like this, And the thing about it is it's fashionable. It don't look barky, it looks very, very luxury. Just look at that. You'll think that this right here is one of your car keychains. Just look at this right here. So you can see, just look. And also it has the speed. So I'm also on someone else's platform as I speak. But and I'm clicking away. So I am clicking on both platforms. I'm clicking on my platform as well as clicking on somebody else's platform as well. So this is doing the trick. And each time when I want to go ahead and speed it down, I push this little arrow right there. It slows it down. And if I want to continue speeding it up, I just keep tapping this right here. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. So with all that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about the message that I came on to talk about. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop my tapper and go into the message. Okay, so again, guys, welcome, 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 welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming in. Okay, so this right here, guys, this is all about self-care, all about self-care. And yesterday, like I said, it wasn't easy. I felt like, I needed a break because I felt like I was burnt out. And the reason why, because, when you take certain things out of your diet, just like I said earlier, it's going to play a toll on it. You're going to feel it. But today, I feel like Superwoman. Okay, I feel like Superwoman. Okay, so I understand, it's a lot of stuff that we go through. But I want to go ahead and talk about something that I am very passionate about. Hey, Sharika, I see my girl Sharika. Sharika is in the house. Thank you for asking about me. Sharika was asking, where is Lady D at? My girl, Black underscore style. You guys make sure you go ahead and check them out. I know my besties. I know the ones that supports me. I know the ones where we want to see each other grow. And I thank you guys. I thank you from the bottom of my heart where you guys was asking about me. Where is Lady D? So in a minute, Black Stallion was saying, where's Lady D? I was right there. I came right there. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, we all need that self-care. We all need that me time. So all the ones that I know that support me, trust me, I see your works. I see your works. You're going to see them. And in these last days, we see the works. They're not just in here, just because they just want engagements. And I've been telling you guys for a long, long time. I was saying, especially when it comes to the engagement, you're gonna know the ones that's gonna be good because they're gonna stay and they're gonna support. Yes, she said, I was looking for you. I know you was, yeah. She said I was looking for it, yeah. Because like I said, it's like family. We are like family. We understand that we all are content creators and we can't sit and stay on people page all day because if we are content creators and we stay on people page all day, then what's going to happen? It's going to have hours undone, because once I get off, then, I have some editing to do. I also have other personal stuff to do, but like I say, just to show your support, even if, you spend a little time, like I said, when it comes to this other platform that I'm on. I'm not on a platform right now, but I'm making sure that I'm still engaging. It's all about engaging, guys. That's to keep engaging because when it comes to the taps, they got tappers that goes 5K speed less than minutes, okay, less than seconds. When it comes to the gift galleries, hey, we could clear that out ourselves. But when it comes to people watching and engaging your content, then we can't do that by ourselves. That's where we need the support, okay? Especially we need the support. So when you see that they are coming on, especially content creators that knows exactly what to do, when you see that they are sharing your lives, what they are doing is they are sharing your lives because it's also going to help your channel to grow, okay? Because other people see it as well. So that's the support. That's the support that we need, okay? So, guys, with all that being said, I want to go ahead and I want to talk about something that I find that is a part of the hashtag 30-day reset. Because what we are doing right now, guys, we are breaking generational cycles. We are breaking generational cycles. It's so sad, and I know a lot of people, they don't want to hear stuff like this, especially when it comes to the things that's, what we see around the world. We want to just take our head and we want to just put it under the sand or cover it up, but this is not going anywhere until someone draw the line and say enough is enough. Now, when it comes to religion and also when it comes to politics, I know, especially with this type of platform, and if you don't have the right people that support it, it would tear it down completely, okay? But like I said, somebody got to say it. When you come in here, it's all about being informative of the things that is going on out there. And the reason why I say it because it's so much stuff that is going on, and we're not privy to. And the reason why we are not privy to because we so busy doing things that they love to see that we are doing. Like I said, when it comes to Massa don't have to do anything. All he have to do is sit on this tree, drink his lemonade, his beer, and hey, he's happy because we are asleep. But it's time for us to sit here and wake up because what we are doing, we are breaking generational cycles. Okay. I see my girl saying FYF, hashtag FYF. Yes, indeed. That exactly what I am talking about. So, guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in, guys. I am, like I said, I love what I'm doing. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. I'm not just coming here just to sit. I am very passionate when it comes to what I'm doing. So, like I said, what we are doing is we are breaking generational cycles. We are moving that body, and we are attracting financial blessings. So we're going to talk about all that right there today because that's exactly what I was talking about when it comes to what we see around here, okay? Breaking financial cycles, living from paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul. We spent almost 1.2 trillions of dollars just on hair supply a year, just on hair supply a year. And I'm just as guilty. Thank God that I'm a cosmetologist, that I don't have to worry about going sit in nobody else's chair with. If I need my hair braided, if I need, my hair pressed, I can do all that myself because, I've been a licensed cosmetologist and still keep my license up to date because, like I said, I can have other people to work under my license. But the thing about it is that what I'm saying is that we spend almost $1.2 trillion dollars a year just on hair supplies. And the thing about it is that we don't own none of that business, but we spend. We are one of the biggest consumers. But we got all these people coming into our community, setting up businesses, don't look like us, but they getting the money. Do you think that that money is being poured into your own community? No. That money is going out. They sending it back home, okay? So we're going to talk about all that because all that right now is going to affect us. And when it comes to these different sites right here, like I said, get what all you can get out of these sites. Get what all that you can get out of these sites because it's going to be a time where, hey, a lot of stuff, you're going to have to be very careful. You're going to have to be very careful of what you see on some of these sites, and you've seen it right now. Like I said, even though this might be our platform, but this is not our house. So we have to be careful how we be in somebody else's house. Like I said, I say this stuff all the time. You're not going to come in my house. If I invite you and just you can make yourself comfortable, but you ain't going to take over my house. It's rules. It's rules when you are in somebody else's house, okay? So, guys, continue tap, 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 tap. So, right here, of what I want to go ahead and talk about, let me see if I can get back. I know you guys heard how, when it comes to our First Amendment rights, how you seen that it is at risk. Now, when it comes to politics, I tell you right now, I'm not too keen and I don't know too much about when it comes to politics, but we have to start educating ourselves. If we can go and we can learn all these different other stuff that is out there, we need to learn to educate ourselves when it comes to politics. Instead of allowing these jokers that supposed to be speaking for us. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you, I'm part of it. I don't know too much when it comes to politics, but when it comes to my spirituality, I'm in my lane, okay? But like I said, I'm still out there as a truth seeker because what I was taught when I was a child, and stuff that when I was in church. Now that we are in what I call the age of information, a lot of stuff, it makes you question, okay? So when it comes to the First Amendment, which I was going to set up another platform as well, I was going to go on YouTube because when it comes to YouTube, they know exactly my talking points, they know exactly how I talk. Now when it comes to TikTok, like I said, I'm setting up another platform because I want to go ahead and talk about stuff that I know that's going to help my people. But when it comes to this platform right here, it's going to be strictly of products and stuff like that, or motivating, uplifting, and stuff like that. But I just want to let you know, guys, when it comes to the First Amendment, okay, some of you guys might sit there and say, well, this is so boring. I don't have nothing to do when it comes to stuff like that. Oh, it's going to affect you, especially when you got children. Because, like I said, all this right here is about part of hashtag 30-day reset. And if we sitting there saying that this is boring, then you don't want to have nothing set when it comes to your children because you are leaving generations to your kids. And you want to make sure when you leave those legacies to your kids, you want to make sure that your kids don't have to go out there and beg Squatty Dotty or anybody. Okay, so when it comes to the First Amendment, let me go ahead and let you know exactly what it is. It's the U.S. Constitution that protects freedom of speech, press, religion, assembly, and the petition the government. So when it comes to the amendment, the First Amendment is supposed to protect the freedom of speech, the press, religion, and assembly and petitioning the government. So if you have that being attacked, then when it comes to platforms like this, I promise you, stuff that you are knowledgeable about and you come out and you talk about it, then you'll be shut down. So we got to make sure that we protect our freedom of speech, okay? We got to make sure that we protect that. Because if we don't protect it, I promise you, you're not going to be saying anything, and especially when it comes to this type of platform. Now that we see TT, who TT now, is connected to now. And these people, they are not looking for people that's coming out, and seeking truth. They're not looking for truth seekers. They're not looking for that. Like I said, when it comes to America, America is a business. Everything is about a business. And we're going to talk about that, guys. We're going to talk about all of that, okay? So when it comes to the First Amendment, I'm just giving you just a little bit. It'll affect our freedom of speech, especially, if it's something that you are passionate about, you come on and you say, I promise you, not when it comes on these type of platforms, honey. So we got to be careful. Like I said all the time, we got to be harmless as a dove and wise as a snake. So I'm not going to get too much into it, but I want you guys to go and research. Go and research that. Don't take my word. I'm only just setting the foundation. Like I said, one person plant, another person water. So you water and watch the Most High God gives the increase. Watch the Most High God give the increase. But like I said, when it comes to these type of platforms right here, is how you use it, how you use these platforms. But if you want to continue doing business on this platform, like I said, there's enough room for all of us. This right here is $1 million, $1 billion business. And I'm the type of person, hey, it's enough for each and every one to get a piece of this. But we also have to know exactly how everything runs, okay? We have to make sure we read the rules. We have to make sure we go out there and watch and see what's going on with the news, especially when these type of platforms. Some people, they depend on these type of platforms. They're making thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars right here on these type of platforms. So if something happened to these platforms today, it's going to affect them because this is their business. This is their business. So if you don't want these people in the middle of the game start changing the goalposts, then you're going to have to be knowledgeable about the changes. You have to be a knowledgeable. Now, some of the changes, when we come together, like I say, we are a force to be reckoned with. Some of the changes, hey, they won't be able to do that if we come together, okay? So when you come on this platform, I'm looking for people, like-minded people that's looking to grow. And there's enough room for each and every one of us, okay? So right here, let's talk about businesses because like I said, financial blessings. We're not out there going and chase anything. If anything, it's going to chase us. Financial blessings. I went ahead and I did my research. Don't take my word. Like I said, our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. So don't take my word. Go out there and research. Don't you know, right here in America, we own no more than 1 or 3% of businesses. 1 or 3% of corporate businesses in the United States. I can't tell you no lie. Go and check it out yourself. So we own 1% or maybe three. I'm gonna give it 3% of businesses in the United States. Who you think own the rest of it? The 97. Who you think own the 97? So we don't wake up. Then I promise you, I remember it was told to me that we was just gonna let history repeat itself. I say, who? Not me. I say, not me. I would never go back. I would never go back of what I saw my forefathers and my foremothers went through. Not me. But yes, now I see it. We can. That's why I say we need the support. We don't have the support. We don't have the support. We are a force to be reckoned with. Trust me. You remember the comedian. I can't think what the comedian. He used to say, we don't die. We multiply. We don't die, we multiply. Thank you, my girl. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you very much. And also, thank you for engaging. We don't die, we multiply. Look, don't let the numbers fool you where they say, oh, we just 13%. No, we're not 13%, honey. Just like that 144,000 that they say in the book of Revelation. No, it's more than that. Just like they say the little map, the map, MAP, map in Africa is just so small. No, that map in Africa, if you put the United States and other countries inside of Africa, it will look like a little small dot. So don't let that map fool you. All that right there was just to trick you because of what I call YT supremacists. And we're going to talk about all of that because we can't keep sweeping that under the rug. I might as well shut it down because if I cannot be my authentic self, just like when I was on Allison channel this morning, you got to be yourself. Because if you be something that you're not, people going to sit there and they're going to sense that, even though I understand that people don't want to hear the truth. People want their ears to be tickled, but I can't. So when you come on here, you know exactly what you're going to get. That's why I say read the bio. When you go into people's platform, thank you very much. Yaju Saint, yes. Make sure, like I say, make sure it's enough for each and everyone. A lot of things that I don't understand. But like I say, each one teach one. And we cannot sit there and say, oh, hey, I know it all, because none of us know it all. But if we come together, don't let the numbers fool you. Because who holds the pen? I don't have my pen right now, but who holds the pen holds the power. So if the ones that's holding the pen that holds the power, you can take numbers and you're going to do anything to those numbers. Okay? So don't let the numbers fool you, because we was here from the beginning and we going to be here to the end. We ain't going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. But it's time for us to wake up. So what I'm saying, when it comes to this hashtag 30-day reset, we leaving legacies for our children's children. We don't want, if something happened to us today or tomorrow, we see our loved ones crying over us and our tombstone say rest in peace. And that's all we got to show for is a tombstone that say rest in peace. So what we are doing now, we are leaving legacies for our children's children. We are breaking those generations curses. We're breaking it right now. Like I said, we own maybe 1 or 3% businesses in the United States. That's not right. When we was in slavery, and that right there, we got to do some research with that too. When we was in slavery, and that right there, we got to do some research with that too. Let's go along with them. I think I need to charge my phone. But when we was in slavery, they said that the ones that was free owned 0.3 or 0.1% of businesses, okay? But now that we are out of slavery, which was over 400 years ago, we only own 1 or 3% businesses. The math is not mathing, guys. The math is not mathing. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Let me charge my phone here. Charge my iPad. The math is not mathing. Hey guys, let me check. Let me do a mic check to see if you guys can hear me, because I saw that my iPad, the battery was running low. I thought I had charged it, but give me a second. Let me make sure that give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can hear me real good, because I went ahead and I took my mic off because I'm charging my phone. Okay, so give me a second. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. My girl said yes, we can hear you. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. Just wanted to make sure, because when you start getting deep into a conversation, you know how things are. But this right here, this is about breaking generational cycles, okay? No more, no more that we're going to allow what I call the cankerworms, the palmer worms, and the locusts and the caterpillars to eat the children's bread. No more that we have to sit and watch them throw us a few crumbs here and there, when we already know that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. It all belongs to us anyway, okay? It all belongs to us anyway. So we're going to talk about this. This right here is what I call hashtag 30-day reset. Make sure you write it down, because I promise you, we are coming out. We going into what I call a overflow. A overflow. Nowhere in the world that we should own 1.3% of businesses. Nowhere in the world. When we got billionaires, we got billionaires, but yet we only own 1 point or maybe 3%. And don't take my words, guys. Don't take my words. You go out there and you do your research. Like I say, when it comes to my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. But we don't have to sit at nobody's table when the entire house belongs to us, especially if we build the entire house. And this is not about flesh and blood. Because, like I say, I am more into my spirituality. This has nothing to do with flesh and blood. This is not a white, black, poor, rich. It's not about this. This is about systemic racism. This is about people that's in high places. Just like it says, and we're going to break that down where even a child can understand because we fight not against flesh and blood. Write it down. So when you see each other fight with each other, no, this is nothing to do with flesh and blood. This is about we seeing these wickedness in high places owning almost 90% of businesses, and we are the employees. And we not only was the employees, we gave them a 400-year start. But yet we having these jokers getting platforms and sitting there talking about that we are the most laziest people in the world. No, we're not. Everybody rides off of our backs. Everybody eats at the table except us. And that's why I said there and said a lot of things that we was taught, a lot of things that we was told not to question. It just don't make no sense today. That's why I say a workman should not be ashamed of rightfully dividing the word. Amen. So right here, we own 1.3, maybe 1 or 3% of businesses right here in the United States. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. When it comes to America, when it comes to America, like I said, in 2017, and I'm gonna find that exact quote, what Donald Trump has said, and it's not his word verbatim, but I'm gonna find the quote because I did write it down. Where he even said that when it came to America, America is like a business. America, like I said, when they went ahead, the colonizers, the settlers, went ahead and took over it, not no 5,000 years ago, no more than 200 and some years ago. America is one of the youngest countries in the entire planet, but the richest. And the reason why, because they had a 400-year head start. It's like you owning a business and you had someone to work at your business for a whole year. You will come up as well if you got free labor. So that's exactly what America did when they enslaved. Okay? And you might sit there and say, well, I just don't want to hear that. But you don't belong on this page. You don't belong on this page because I'm going to tell it. That's when it comes to my legacies, leaving generations to my children, breaking generation curses, and leaving legacies to my children. I'm going to tell it, okay? So, right here, let's talk about America as a business. So, America is a nation that is run like a business. That came from Donald Trump, 2016. So, hold on 1 second. Black ownership of business. Black Americans own 1 or maybe 3% of businesses. Okay, so that black-owned firm, that's sad. That's sad. I'm talking about right here in the United States. I'm gonna break it down to you where even a child can understand. Okay, give me a second. So right here, hold on 1 second, because I'm letting you know this has nothing to do with flesh and blood. We think all this right here has to do with flesh and blood. No, this is all about power, guys. This all about power. That's why I say, we out here, we buck dancing and we asleep, but we don't know the ones that's plotting behind the back doors. This has nothing to do with race. When I say race, I'm talking about black and white or rich and poor. This is all about power, okay? So give me a second because I'm going to break this down where even a child can understand. I'm just not going to go so technical, okay? Because all this information is out there at a push of a button, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about this right here. Black owned business are unrepresented due to barrels. Black application get bank loans receive maybe about 1 or 2% are approved, okay? 99% of black people work for YT corporate. Wow. 99%. Not, and I'm just going through it. I'm not going to go all deep into it because like I said, our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. I'm skipping a lot. But right here, I'm just getting to the key points. 99% of black people work for YT corporate. Okay, about 62% of black adults aged 25 to 64 are employees. And I'm talking about from 25 to 64, mostly in wages slash salary jobs, not self-employed. Okay, 85 to 90% are employees to private sector firms where YT owned business dominate. YT owned 84% of the firm. And you got the audacity to go out and worry about what's going on in our business. Mind your business. Because, like I said, is enough going on in your own house then you out here trying to worry about what's going on in our house. He that have an ear, let him hear. And I know not too many people wants to hear stuff like this, especially when it comes to our people. Because like I said, nothing is new under the sun. Just like our forefathers and our foremothers were saying, why, we are in the wilderness. Why are we eating, fresh mantle each and every day. The Most High God used to rain down fresh mantle. Why we still eating the same food when we was in Pharaoh's house? We was eating onions and leeks, but yet you was in bondage. Yet you are robbing Peter to pay Paul. But you don't want to hear this type of information. Like I said, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. But what you are seeing is if you don't pump your brakes, if you don't say enough is enough, what you are going to see, you're going to see history repeat itself, okay? You're going to see history repeat itself, okay? If you don't say enough is enough. And like I said, this has nothing to do with flesh and blood, which we're going to talk about that. So make sure you guys tap, 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 tap. I may not can sing, but I'm singing right now. He that have an ear, let him hear. Tap, 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 guys. Tap, tap, tap. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue talking. About 62%, okay? 85 to 90% are employees, private sectors, where YT owned business dominate. Walmart. When I was young, I was 18 years old. I used to work at Walmart in the hair salon. They had hair salons. I was the manager because everywhere I go, God gives me favor, okay? God gives me favor, and I'm not bragging. I'm just being honest. God gives me favor. I used to be the manager at a Walmart in it was called Smart Style in a Walmart. Some of you guys might know it was a part of Regis. I was the manager, even though I still had my business, but I was the manager at Smart Style. Okay? Because like I said, you were smart, not hard. But Walmart, in Walmart alone, I even met, I'm not even gonna tell you no lie, the Sam, the man that owned Walmart, before he passed away, he visited all of his Walmart franchise. He even came to our little small town and he told us how he had started Walmart right in a barn in his own house. Just like I started my hair salon right in the back of my own house. But he started Walmart right in the barn of his own house, and how he used to bring the products to the people. He had a horse and a carrot. Yes, a horse and a carrot. In the back of his little cart, he had all the products where he used to go to each homes to deliver all their goods. So that's how he started Walmart. And he also said that he never wanted his stores to be sold into what you've seen it today, what his sons did. And that came out of his mouth. So I don't have to sell legend. I heard it myself, okay? But Walmart now, Amazon, all these tech giants, they do not own by us. But we spend trillions of dollars just when it came to Target. When we stayed home for less than 24 hours, when they had called for that boycott, don't you know we were spending $12 million a day right there in Target? A day, $12 million. That's why I'm not going to tell you no lie. Hey, a lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like me, but I'm not here for your liking because the truth hurts. The truth is like open heart surgery. Nobody wants their heart to be open. Everybody wants people to tickle their ears. I don't want to hear, especially when it comes to my people, that we are poor. One thing about us, when we go outside, honey, we don't look poor. We might sit there and live in the bottom or wherever you want to call us, but when we come out, honey, we gonna look like $1 million. Oh, honey. But it's that's good, putting our entire investments on our back. If you want to know a poor person, look at how they dress. All that designer stuff. You don't see the richest person. You don't even see Bill Gates. Bill Gates walks around with Old Navy. You don't see him with those designer clothes, those Fendi and Versace's. You don't see all that on these rich people. You can identify a poor person the way that they dress. You might sit there and say, "Oh, I can't believe Lady D is saying that." Yes, I did say it. The way that they dress. Don't you know those designer clothes, Fendi, Versace, Gucci, all those patterns that you are breaking the bank for, they got it free out of freaking Africa. Go watch my shorts. And the thing about it is that they said that they was borrowing it. But yet these people that you took the patterns from, and you putting thousands and thousands of dollars price tags on it, but yet you saying you borrowed it, but these people are still living in hut houses. These people are still living in poverty. That's what I'm saying. Everybody gets to eat the children's bread except us. But we break in the bank to rebuy stuff that was already ours. Like I say, the system is not broken. The system is only doing what the system is designed to do. And see, stuff like that, like I say, it don't run fast. See, when you talking about stuff like that, like this, it don't run fast. But like I say, you don't look at the numbers. If I look at the numbers, I would shut it down for good. Because when you are a true teller, people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. Okay? And they wonder why when things go the way that they go. Oh, I can't believe this happened. Yeah, it was. You knew it was going to happen. You just was so busy sitting there in the hog's pen, robbing Peter to pay Paul, living from paycheck to paycheck. But yet these people own 90% of corporate business right here in the United States. And we own no more than 1 or 3%. No more than 1 or 3%. And if I want to be nice, I say 11%. But the 90% we don't own. But the sad thing about it is that other people, other foreign people, can come into our community and start a business like that. Why? So let's go ahead and talk about it. Because, like I said, it's already out there. The only reason why we are not privy to that information is because we so busy sitting there, got our head in the sand. We so busy thinking that, hey, we got time. No, time waits for nobody. Because what you are doing right now, it all coincides with each other. What you are doing right now, you are breaking generational cycles, okay? So right here it says self-employment rate. Only 5 or 6% of Black Americans are self-employed business owners. Wow. Wow. Which means 94.95 of Black workers are employees. Wow. Wow. 10 to 15% Black workers are in public sector slash government jobs. Wow. So right here it says Black business formation hits Ruckus post 2020 14 to 20% annual growth, fueled by a emerged necessary pandemic layoff like Biden during 2025 small business grants. Black women lead owning 39% of Black firms, okay? Uh, which that's still small, okay? That's still small. So let's go ahead and talk about while the 1% and 99% figure are approximate, they capture a real imbalance. Black Americans are entrepreneur by sideline in a corporate heavy economic, with most working in build owns wealth. This isn't just stats, it's tied to historical equality like slavery and Jim Crow. Okay, so America is a business, a corporate, and the only color they see is green. Remember that. Okay, remember that America is a business, and the only color that they see is green. This is not a black and white. This is not a rich and poor. This is about green. Okay, remember, we fight not against flesh and blood but against principalities and rulers in high places. That's what we fight against. So, why do you think when I come on, I talk about this book called The Doctrine of Discovery? All this right here was just a business. Now, I don't know too much when it comes to politicians, but it's no such thing. Why? I don't know when it comes to politicians. Maybe I was not interested in it. And that's the reason why we are still in what I call the sunken place today, because we're not interested in things that affect us as a whole. All that affects us as a whole, because just like I told you guys, when it comes to the doctrine of discovery, this right here was put in place and is still affected today. This still affect today. That's why we can have this young guy call himself Charlie Kirk can come and tell us what we are not doing in our own community. You see, because they still stand on what was put in place called the paper bull. This right here was established spiritual because they know we are spiritual people. We're not religious people, we are spiritual people. They put religion there, got us talking about religion, okay? Got us talking about all these different denominations. I know some of this stuff is going over your head. That's why I say I'm going to walk with you. I'm gonna walk with you because I'm breaking it down to you where even a child can understand. But all this stuff was taking place because of the people that was in high places. Remember, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, wickedness in high places. This is political. What you are seeing, this is political. And what they did was legal justification. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why they could sleep at night because it was put in place where in their mind it seems right. And the thing about it is nobody went. and contest against it. Nobody buck against it. Let me say it like that because I'm breaking it down where a child can understand. So if you never went and you contested that, then it's going to pass down to their children. So you're going to see a Charlie Kirk will sit on a panel so proudly. Now he's not going to talk about people that's very knowledgeable in his talking points. So he's going to go to these college kids. And the reason why he went to the college kids because he know that their mind is not fully developed to comprehend some of the stuff that he studied or someone pushed into him to feed to the younger kids. That's why I say take your eyes off of these babies. Take your eyes off of these babies because the Most High God is not playing today. You're not going to continue sitting there going after the children. That's how I was talking about when it comes to these rappers. Some of these rappers, just because we got the same skin color, that don't mean that they all kinfolks, okay? However it goes. These people are plants. They put these people in because they know that they can send these younger kids. They don't want older people like us because we are hard to break. I know some of you guys got this, or you're gonna catch this by tomorrow. They don't want younger kids like older people like us. They want young kids because they know they're easy to break. So they're gonna get Sukahani and Cardi B and all these other people to talk about your body parts and put them on a platform and spend millions of dollars on these people because they know that they're going after the younger kids. And the younger kids, because of their mind, is not fully developed. And they know that we're out of the household because now we trying to pay for all these foreign clothes and all these designer clothes, trying to keep up with the Joneses. So who you think are teaching your kids? A Cardi B, a Saucy Montana, whatever you call these people. You know, I don't know these rappers, but you know who I'm talking about. They pay these people to send your kids to the slaughterhouse because our kids sponges over stuff like this. When I'm sitting there talking about something that don't make no sense, tell it to me. Tell it to me. But I'm speaking truth. Amen. King says, that's right. We are spiritual people. They know we are spiritual people. But they sat there and they told us this stuff, forced it down upon us. And by we don't want to go out there and do our own research, we have adapt to all that. We're not brainwashed. We're not brainwashed. Don't let nobody ever come around and say you are brainwashed. You're not brainwashed. You are programmed. So now you have to be renewed. Be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. Amen. We have to be renewed. That's why I said they say, I'm not here to tickle your ears. Ain't nobody can persuade me. Anybody, oh, she's following this person. Oh, she's following that. No, I'm following the truth. And now we are in what I call the age of information. Everything is out at a push of a button. All this stuff right here, when it comes to the doctrine of decree, when it comes to all this right here, all this is recorded. All this stuff is recorded. You go into the government .org and you'll find all this information. How these people took the entire planet and turn it upside down because they only wanted what they want today is YT Christian nation. That's all they want. YT. Not black and white Christian nation. They want YT. I can't make this up if I want to. So let's go in and continue. And the reason why I can't make it up because I want to, because the statistics shows we don't own nothing. We don't own no schools. We don't own no libraries. We don't own no banks, hospitals, or nothing. We don't own nothing. Okay? We don't own nothing. Only 1 or 3%. And the minute when we get that little 1 and 3%, we go and marry Becky with the good hair. And what you think gonna happen? And like I said, this is not about sitting there trying to be racist. It's not. This is the truth. We could talk about a Kobe Bryant. God bless his, Bless his family. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. But the money is not going to go back into your community. And 9 out of 10, they're not going to marry nobody that look like you. Like I said, when it comes to the system is not broken. The system is only doing what the system is designed to do. Absolutely. I talked about that, King. We was already here. We sitting there saying, oh, where we settle at, we own that land. No, we was already here. Don't let these people fool you. We was already here. So when you see all these different states where they went ahead and they burned down our towns, we was already established. We was already here. It didn't just happen to Black Wall Street, Philadelphia. No, even right here in your neck of the woods. I showed you the map. Go and Google it yourself. The Black Massacre map. I promise you, something happened in your neck of the woods as well. Rosewood, St. Louis, Atlanta, Chicago, Louisiana was hit hard. We was already here. We was already here. But the thing about it is that this is not a black and white thing. It's just that the ones that was in high places made them top priority, like we need to learn to make our people top priority. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk about this. Like I said, all this stuff right here, this is going to affect us all. Okay? And how do they get it? How do they get us? They get it through businesses. And it's happening today. I'm watching on TikTok how these people are crying, losing their job of freedom of speech, talking about how they felt when it came to all the stuff that's happening right now. Jimmy Kimmel got fired off of his job. All these people that's voicing their opinion, getting fired off of their job. It's no such thing as freedom of speech to some people, only when they are doing it. Amen. I'm going to show you that it's not about black and white. It's not about black and white. Like I say, this is a spiritual warfare. This is a spiritual warfare. This is not about black and white. And when I say this is a spiritual warfare, we fight not against flesh and blood. Let me tell it to you. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you right here. We fight not against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual warfare against those principalities. Those principalities. What is principalities? Those are people that's in high places. Like I said, most of this stuff happened because these crafty counselors came together with something that we don't know about doing. We don't know about coming together. Just like they're doing right now, plotting behind the scenes. This is all about principalities. Right here. This is a spiritual warfare against those principalities. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And that's Ephesians 6 and 12. This right here is a powerful blend of spiritual and economic resistance rooted in, like I said, and controlled by its systematic forces. Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principality, against power, against rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we're fighting against, okay? That's why I tell you all the time, you can never build a solid foundation off of material possession. This right here is deeply rooted in an invisible force that only wants to exploit. And that's what you're seeing right here. That's why we have to do our part. How can we do our part? Like I said, we can blame Dottie, Squatty, and everybody. But how do we do our part? Buy black, okay? Be one first. That's the strategy, okay? Start pouring into your own community, okay? Because just like I say, this is a spiritual warfare, the deeper battle against a systematic principle. So right here, I'm skipping a lot, guys, but this right here, like I said, this is the forces that we are going through right here, okay? And we can buy it back. We can buy it back $1 at a time. When Kamala Harrison, she was running for president, she called us sorority sisters less in a few hours. They say less than 2 hours. She was able to raise almost $2 million. They say about a month. She was in almost close to $1 billion. So we cannot say that we don't have the dollars. It's just that we spending it into this system. So we got to take accountability. We got to take accountability as well. What are we doing? We can't sit there and say, oh, it's Dottie Squad and everybody. When we sitting there working hard 9 to 5, in a minute when we get $1, we pour it back into the system, buying things that we don't even need. Half of the stuff we don't even need. Amen. So redirecting spending black owned business 3.5 millions. So 1.98 trillion in black buying power. Okay. So let me go ahead. The plantation thrive. That's the plantation mindset, okay? So let me go ahead and skip all this right here. It says America, which we talked about that, and this been going on because this been going on from centuries, okay? And the thing about it, their blueprint is still well alive today. Their blueprint is still well alive today. So they still working off of the old blueprint, and we haven't figured it out. That's the part that I don't understand. They still working under the same blueprint, and we have not figured it out yet. Okay, make it make sense. And you wonder why, when it comes to free speech, is being compromised now. You wonder why free speech is being compromised. They don't want you to hear the truth. They don't want you to know that 90% of corporate business is owned by YT, and we only have maybe a small 1%. They don't want you to sit there and come together to figure that out, because then you're going to start setting up your business. Back then, I used to watch those movies where when blacks used to sit there, it was called The Moon Hanger. I don't know if you guys saw that movie called The Moon Hanger, where this black man, he wanted to own his own gas station, and his mechanic station. And every time when he was trying to get a loan or he was trying to build it, they used to come and they tore it down. They tore it down until he had to sit there and put it in a YT person's name in order for him to run that business, make it make sense. They didn't want us to run business, and it's still to this day, I could sit there and talk about a lot of stuff, especially when it came to my business. It wasn't the YT, it was my own people that helped destroy my business. And the reason why, because they had them to help them to do it. They're gonna be behind the scene. Like I say, old master don't have to do anything. All he had to do is just sit back and watch, because we are tearing down each other business. That's self-hate. That self-hate causes us to own 1% of business today. That's self-hate. We don't want to see each other make it, because in our mind that we supposed to only work for YT corporate America. We're supposed to be workers. We're supposed to be employees. We're not supposed to be business owners. That's why they don't teach that in public schools. They don't teach being business owners in public schools. They teach you how to work a 9 to 5. Amen. She said, we hate on each other, no reason for jealousy. Absolutely. But it's just that self-hate. It's just we programmed to do that. We programmed to do that. We programmed to not own, but to be employees. from slavery now to employees for minimum wages. And so in a minute, even if you're working for corporate America, tax is going to eat half of that up. And then the rest, you're going to try to keep up with your co-workers. So you're spending half of that check right there, just pouring it back into the system. Amen. Come on, guys. He that have an ear, let him hear. He that have an ear, let him hear. So this is not about flesh and blood. The real fight is systematic. This has nothing to do with flesh and blood. Okay? The real fight is systematic. So if you hear anyone that's sitting there saying this is a black and white thing, at one time I used to sit there and say it was a black and white thing. No, it's not a black and white thing. The only reason why it's a black and white thing because the ones that's in high power look like the ones YT, and you think that they're gonna sit there and help you first. No, they're gonna help their own people. They're gonna help their own people. So we can't get mad. We can't get mad because they helping their own people. So in a minute we get it, and we was taught don't even help our own people. Go and pour it back into the system, okay? So this is not a flesh. This is not a flesh and blood. Ephesians, just like I said, you saying the enemy is it's not individual, black versus white, rich versus poor, but this is some systematic forces, principalities. Okay, these people have put those policies in place. Okay, those policies are in place. So let's go ahead and break it down. Let's go and break it down. How now we are in 2025. And you probably sit there and say, none of our people is on the plantation. Yes, we are still on the plantation. Oh, no, I'm not on the plantation. Let me tell you what they did. They took all the plantations and they consolidated to one. And just like it was said, the government, that's the plantation, the biggest plantation. It's like credit cards. You know how you have credit cards, so many credit cards, and you take those credit cards and you consolidate as one? That's exactly what they did. So now what you're sitting there seeing, who we are married to, we are married to the government. That's what we're married to, especially when it comes to women. And the thing about it is that all this stuff is set in place, but we don't see it. And that's why I tell people don't get rid of your Bibles. You just have to know exactly how to rightfully divide it. We got eyes and we can't see, and we got ears and we can't hear. This system is they still working on the same system. It's just like I said. They just know how to pass it down to their generation to generation. And we still falling for the same okie dokie, okay? So right here, hold on one second. Let me see where I'm at because I'm skipping a lot. Because this is some good information, guys. Like I said, when I come on here to do business. I come on here to speak truth. I don't come here to sit there and tickle nobody's ears, okay? So let's go ahead and quote this. I'm gonna quote directly of what Trump has said. And that's the reason why they got Trump in position right now, because Trump is a businessman. So, like us, Trump, he got a lot of people. It's not him. Everybody saying Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump can't do nothing. But what the Senate and all Congress, which they control all that, they are the ones. Those are puppet masters. Those are the ones that push the string. It's just that when it comes to Trump, he pin happy. He'll just sign anything, okay? Because he know once he get out of it, his family gonna be taken care of. But right here, Trump, right here, it says he said in 2016. 2016, I want to read his exact words, okay? America is like a business. He said that in 2016. So make sure you go and check all that out for yourself, okay? Trump had quoted, okay, during his 2016 campaign. Trump repeatedly said, America is a nation that is run like a business. So if America is a nation that has run like a business, why we having cardon? Why we are the biggest consumers. And the minute when we start waking up, then why we, it's like certain things are taken away because they know once we wake up and we start creating our own business, what you think is going to happen? Hmm? What you think is going to happen? So what they're doing right now, like I said, they are running it like a business, okay? I want to go ahead and talk about the SBA loans, how we be denied for SBA loans. And they sit there and say when the SBA loans is for the minorities. Well, who are the ones that's benefiting on the SBA loans? Sure, not us, okay? We go and try to get SBA loans, they'll try to deny you, okay? But try to sit there. Like I said, we got to learn to sit there and find this information, okay? Find this information. Don't take my word. Go and look at this for yourself. They know exactly what they're doing. And like I said, this has nothing to do with a black and white thing. This is all about principalities, power, rulers in high places. Let's go ahead and talk about this right here when it comes to freedom of speech. We already know when it came to Jimmy Kimmel, okay? Uh, this is, like I said, the have and have nots, okay? They don't want you to sit there and come against it. No, you cannot come against it because you are messing them up. I remember reading a story, and I'm gonna close with this right here. I remember reading a story right there in the Bible, where it was a divination woman, where she would go around and say things, like a soothsayer, a psychic. And the minute when Paul and the rest of his disciples went ahead and cast that spirit out of her, they went ahead and they arrested her because you messing up with our business. So what you think when it comes to America? When you start sitting there talking about woke, they don't want to hear nothing about woke because then you start messing with their business. See, they don't want you to mess with nothing that they know that they could be able to leave legacies for their children's children. So they don't want to hear nothing like that. And the thing about it is that our own people go along with it. Our own people go along with it. And so in a minute, you will see a few of us sitting there standing against it. Then, hey, they'll have us to turn against our own people. Why do you think I don't have no more than 4 people in here? Huh? And I'm dropping jewels. I'm speaking truth. But you see, we don't want to hear stuff like that. We don't want to hear that we own no more than 1% of business, corporate business in the United States. I give it 3%, but no more than 1%, 3%. When we was in slavery, we only owned 0.3 or zero point 0.5, and I might be off, but I have the statistics. Go and check it out. Like I said, our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Nothing that I'm saying, nothing that I am saying that cannot be fact checked. Nothing that I am saying cannot be fact checked. Like I said, when it comes to our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. And that's the reason why we don't support each other. We don't support each other because we think just because we wearing the designer clothes, just because we robbing Peter to pay Paul, just because we working from sun up to sundown, driving in expensive cars, most likely just to work and back. Because you miss a paycheck, you most likely they'll come and repo. But yet we spend trillions of dollars. We built this and we own nothing. Trying to demand something from it. Amen. And like I said, guys, don't get mad with the messenger. And I know a lot of people, when it comes to this type of information, you don't want to hear it. And the only reason why you don't want to hear it, because like I said, we know different than our forefathers. Nothing is new under the sun. We don't want to challenge the system. And the minute when we try to challenge the system, they say cancer, shut it down. And we sit there, we don't say anything. We just continue. going by our every day. But if it affect that one, it should affect us all. It should affect us all. But see, the thing about it is that we don't stick together. We don't stick together. Amen. But we're not coming out. And I hate to say we're not coming out until we wake up. Until we wake up and we realize who is behind this, who are the real puppet masters. And see people like that. Sometimes I sit there and I start, I'm human. I'm human just like everybody else. Sometimes I just sit there and say, God, just like the Most High God had told Jonah, when Jonah wanted to go to Tasha, God told him to go to Nineveh. He wanted to go where he wanted to go. But he said, I'm going to Tasha. And it might be the other way around. But he didn't want to go because he thought that these people didn't deserve. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. But God said there, say it's not about you. You have a word, you have a message. And I don't have to exalt myself to sit there and tell you all this information. It's already out there. Ain't nothing that I make up. This is not a hocus pocus story. I'm not sitting here trying to give you something that was a fairy tale. I'm telling you the truth. All this stuff right here was put in place. They legalized all the stuff that we are going through. If we sit there and say all the stuff that we invented, yes, we invented just about everything. And I might sit there and be exaggerating, but we invented a lot of stuff. But the thing about it, we stopped dreaming because you don't see us inventing nothing anymore, not too much. And the minute when we start inventing it, just like I couldn't be able to communicate with you today on what we call the internet, on some of these sites, if it wasn't for our own people. You don't know that when it comes to the cell phone, when it comes to how we could network on these certain sites. Who was the one that helped figure this out, discover, invented this? But the thing about it is that, yes, we built just all this right here, but they figured out how to take it from underneath you because they own the patent. They own the patent. And we sitting here all day from sun up to sundown, all day from sun up to sundown, arguing, arguing over things that we are not even knowledgeable about, stuff that we don't even know anything about because none of us been here over 2,000 years ago. This stuff is happening right now. These people still sitting laws in place, but yet you are telling us that we got over 600,000 laws, and I'm exaggerating, guys, that we got to hold on because we was cursed. No, we wasn't cursed, devil, you was cursed. That's what they told you. That's what they told you. We was blessed and highly favored. The Most High God said everything that He made was good. When He made man, He said it was good. Now all of a sudden that He sat there and said we are cursed, huh? Like I said, we take their word as Bible. If they sat there and put it in the book, we're not going to read it. We're not going to research it, but we're going to take it as Bible. So don't go around and sitting there saying, oh, this is right, that's right. No, I'm going to search it for myself. I'm going to search it myself because of what you're saying, it should be recorded as facts. I'm doing facts checking. We are right now, we are in what I call the age of information. No more excuses. Everything is at a push of a button. But when I sit there and I talk about these crafty counselors, I don't have to exalt myself and tell you I'm somebody. You know, just a nobody trying to tell everybody. I'm not here to exalt myself. Move me out the way. I get no glory. Move me out of the way because all this information is at a push of a button. These people put all this in place. And if I really go down the list of how all this took place, you'll start doing your research yourself. You'll start having second thoughts yourself. But they fed us different stuff to keep us asleep. But some of this stuff that they had fed us had nothing to do with what they are telling us today. What they preached about had nothing to do. These was crafted counselors just like today. Put all this in place, just like they're talking about right now when it comes to all the stuff that's going on overseas. These little people with the little hats going after little 11 people, whatever they sat there and say had was dealing with other people held them up. No, it ain't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm talking about. See, some things I can't say. I can't say certain things, but you know what I'm saying. See, sometimes we got to talk just like they talk. We got to talk gibbish. We got to talk ignorant. But that's all right. He that have an ear, let him hear. That has nothing to do with what they said had happened in October. All that was what they was doing to what you see right here in the doctrine of discovery to go and take that land. But they needed excuse. They needed excuse because that's just like you coming right here on American soil because you have some hostages right here on American soil, and you're going to sit there and tear up the entire country. Make it make sense. But see, we don't question that like that. But we said on our panel, don't invite me, please. Please don't invite me. You see why I don't jump on all these platforms? Don't invite me unless you're ready to hear the truth. Don't invite me unless you're ready to hear the truth. We sat from sun up, sundown, sitting there arguing, and we're gonna continue arguing because that's what it comes to do. It comes to divide. It comes to divide. All that comes to divide. If you sitting here, you talking about something that you are not knowledgeable about, have happened over 2,000 years ago, it comes to divide. It keeps you asleep. That's what they want you to do. We right here now, 2025, and we not only asleep, we in a coma. We are in a spiritual coma. That's sad. And the minute when one of them just sat there and blinked one eye, they'll sit there and they'll send our own people to put you back to sleep. That's a shame that we are sleepwalking. We are spiritually sleepwalking, spiritually dead. And we thinking about a physical dead that the grave gonna rise up in the last days. No, that's not true, guys. That's what was preached to us, but that was not true. Only dead that's gonna rise up is you when you come out of your sleeping slumber place. Oh, wake up, you old sleepy heads, and come out of her. Take off of these grave clothes when the Most High God is about to put you a new garment. See, they don't want to hear me. But God said there and say, move yourself out the way. Move yourself out the way. Because everything that I'm saying right now is recorded. All this right here is recorded. He that have an ear, let him hear. So when you out here on these platforms, I promise you, and if you're not pouring in trying to start your own platform, you can't continue in these people's house and sitting there trying to wake your people up. Because right now, I'm telling you, the harvest is plentiful. You was wondering, what you mean, Lady D, the harvest is plentiful, but the labors are few. This is your time right now to start putting together, coming together, organizing and mobilizing. It's time for us to start putting together so we can own our own platform where we can talk the way that we want to talk. You can't sit there and come in and sit there and try to disrupt somebody else's house. No. And now you're seeing right now who own. Go and check out right now who owns TT. TT. Who owns TT? Who owns TT today? Go and see who owns TT today. The same ones that own all of the other media outlets owns TT. That's support of TT. So do you think that you're going to come in their house when and disrupt their house? That's why I say he didn't have an ear, let him hear. It's time for us to come together. When he was saying he's coming for one, that one was not, that one is when we come together. It's time for us to come together because iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. This is still well effective today. The truth of the doctrine of discovery. I went ahead and I purchased this. You don't have to pay a dime for it. All you have to go to all these sites right here. Understandtheproject.org slash first light slash doctrine. All this stuff right here was put in place. This was put in place by Pope Alexander the sixth, the fourth, and the sixth, all of 1493, a few hundreds of years ago, not no 2,000 years ago. These people put this all in place. And the minute when they put this in place and they legalized this, it put us to sleep. It put us to sleep. Tomorrow, I'm going back into this and start talking about this. Because, like I said, our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, come out of her. Come out of her. I can't talk no other kind of way. I can't come on here and be buffoonery and coonery. I can't do that. It works for some people, but it does not work for me. It does not work for me, especially when I see how my people are still going through and going to continue going through until someone draw the line and say enough is enough. Who is willing to draw the line and say enough is enough? And the only way that we can be able to come out, we got to sit there and we got to take off of those grave clothes. We got to make up our bed. Lazarus, rise up. Lazarus, come out of your grave. It's time for us to raise up. It's time for us to dust off of these ashes and put up the garment, please. It's time for us to come with the whole armor, the full armor, because we can't go out there half-cocked. It's time for us to start researching. And now that we got all these different AIs and Google, it's no excuses today. The word is now being preached through the four corners of the earth, even in small villages in Africa's, in the corners of the earth. They got internet, they got cell phones. So it's no more excuses. We don't have to do like we used to do back then, where we have to travel, by airplane. No, we don't have to. All we have to do is turn on our internet. You'll see people don't living in hut homes, but they got a cell phone in their hands. Right here is our key right here. But it's how you're gonna be able to use it. Either you're gonna use it for your good or you're gonna make it even spoken of. Right here, like I said, can wake a whole generation up. But it's how you're gonna use it. We don't have to exalt ourselves. We don't have to do that. We don't have to exalt ourselves. Because like I said, we are one. We are one. So I knew, this 2 day rest was well needed. This 2 day rest was well needed. And it all has to do with hashtag 30-day reset. And you might just be coming on, how does this have to do with hashtag 30-day reset? Because we are leaving legacies. And in order for us to leave legacies, we have to break these generational curses because we don't have to go out there and chase what's already ours. That's like buying it back. We buying back what's ours. One of my friends, I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and get on because she's talking about reparation, demanding reparation. Just like I say, when it comes to reparation, at one time I was all for reparation. But you remember when they gave everybody those PP loans? Those PP loans was just a test to see how we was going to handle it. But why would you give us back what's already ours when God said there and say the kingdom of heaven suffer violence and we're going to take it by force? Why should we sit there and demand something that's already ours, something that we already built? All we have to do, just like I told you guys, sit on the wall and watch. Pop your popcorns. Because what you're seeing right now, what you're seeing, they thought it was us. Oh, they even wish that it was us. Oh, it never happens not to us. Because we're not the savages, heathens. That's what they really want to say. We don't do that. Found out it was their own tearing up each other. That's why I said there and say we have to start speaking in our unknown tongue, especially when this is not our house. He that have an ear. They wanted it to be us. Oh, let it be somebody else, immigrants, somebody. Oh, they would have tore it up just like you seen the little small hats tearing up all these different countries in all overseas. Oh, they would have tore us up just like Black Street and Black. Oh, they would have Tulsa, Oklahoma, Philadelphia. Oh, they would have tore us up. But like I said, it was their own. They looking at us. Mind your business. Stop worrying about what's going on in our business. You're trying to tell us what we should do, how we should conduct. Talk about raising up these little serial K's, bringing them in school and tearing down the schools. Nobody wants to talk about it. Talk about how with this right here, the truth of the doctrine discovery gave you a 400-year head start. And so in a minute when our people was trying to go out there and get loans, uh, we was denied. Some of our people, you see what I'm saying? Or the interest was so high. Like I said, the system is not messed up. The system is only doing what the system is designed to do, guys. So on that note, guys, try to get me to at least 50K. Once I get to 50K, I'm almost to 50K. I'm out. Be back tomorrow. I'm not gonna wear it out because I'm not gonna wear my body out. But this right here, when you coming on, I'm trying to set up another platform. I want to sit there and do my little shoppables because I order a lot of stuff and Christmas coming around the corner. But I have to be my true authentic self. I have to be my true authentic self. Yes, I'm trying to set up another platform, but I need to be my true authentic self because, like I said, it's time for us to wake up. So, guys, on that note, y'all done got me to 50K. That's good enough for me. My goal was to get 30K. Y'all got me to 20 more, so I could go ahead 20K more. But we also have to engage with each other when it's this type of platform. We have to learn to engage. You know, I thank God for your gifts, but we also have to engage. And I know I'm praying, I'm asking, I'm manifesting. I'm not just praying. It's time for us to sit there and start manifesting. There's power in that tongue. Speak it. And we could speak, it said, to the mountains, and the mountains shall be removed. Then we could speak to things that we need. We need to come together. We need to start engaging. But the thing about it is that we so divided. We so divided. I've been on this platform for almost 3 or maybe 4 months, and I never saw so much division until I started hashtag 30-day reset. Now you're seeing everybody and their mama wants to set up platforms like this. But that's all right, because that's just to show you it's no unity, especially when it comes to the black community. Bunch of crabs in the barrel. What if we all would meet at the same platforms? And then next month, meet on somebody else's platform. That we supposed to be a community. Wow. We'll be able to start our own network. But see, we can't do that because there's no unity. Too much self-hate. That's why I sat there and say, I'm not pointing finger at Dottie Squatty and everybody no more. I'm pointing finger at us. Let a man examine himself. Let a man examine himself. Because sometimes I feel like I just don't even want to come on. But like I said, I don't want to end up in the belly of the big fish. See, we think that, oh, the big fish, Jonah was swallowed by a big fish. No, we swallowing each other each and every day. When we sitting there going against the prick, that's the big fish. We are being swallowed each and every day, disobedient into a system. So each time when we don't sit there, we don't come together, then we continue being in the system. And the only ones that's going to profit, and those the ones that has sat there and designed that. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So on that note, guys, you all be blessed.